Welcome to the Spare Parts Racing Podcast, your podcast for all things motorsports. With your hosts, Sean Chavarella, Stephen Clary, and Taylor Moore.
Hear that music?
Hello, and welcome to another week's episode of Spare Parts Racing. I'm your host, Sean.
I'm Steven.
And I'm Taylor.
And, okay, take two on this, because I kind of messed up the beginning. So, anyway, hey guys, it's our 200th episode.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so we've spent 200 of these, Steven, talking about racing and having fun.
And giving shitty opinions.
Exactly. If you don't give shitty opinions, then, what's the point?
Yeah. And occasionally good betting advice? Question mark?
Yeah, I've made money. Sometimes.
Yeah, okay. Sometimes. Solid 50% of the time. Oh no, maybe 75%. It depends on whether or not you're cursed.
It depends what I tell you. If I tell you I win, I definitely won. If I don't tell you anything, I definitely lost. So,
Well, you've been a lot quieter on betting than...
So we're just going to move on from this. So how was everyone's weekend?
It was good and bad.
Hot and
There were good parts.
There was a Taylor Swift album. How can it be bad?
Okay, well, I pulled my shoulder. I'm in some pain. So that was the bad part. But I mean, also I found out that my rear brakes are seized, which is strange for a car that's under 2 years old. But yay. But
Warranty?
Yeah, no, I have to bring it in. They're not calling me back, but I will hear from them. It's fine. But yes, Taylor Swift has blessed us with a double album. Not just one, but a double album.
Yes, and to be honest, we're going to have a discussion on Taylor Swift later. That's how we're going to finish off tonight. Is
Absolutely.
Talking about the album. But before then, Taylor, what's that behind you?
You mean this?
Where the fuck that come
This
from?
lovely thing? It was a birthday gift. I did get the McLaren Lego set from Peter, and I finished it last night. It is so cool. I love it.
You going to show it off or just going to let it sit there?
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay, 1 second.
She is grabbing the McLaren. Drop it.
I was going to say, that
No.
was big Ross from Friends energy there, Sean.
I was really hoping she was going to drop it so we could just get that clip.
That would be so mean. So this is it's a tiny Ayrton, little Lego Ayrton Senna with a nice inspirational quote from him.
Please tell me it's going for the gap.
No, it's no matter what your dream is, you have to dedicate yourself entirely to it.
Boo.
Lame.
Solidly inspirational. And then this is the McLaren. It is really cool. It has all the details and the stats of how many Grand Prix it was in, the wins,
Do the wheels
how many
turn?
poles it got. Yes, they do.
Do they?
And this works.
Okay, if the wheels move at the front, does the steering wheel turn?
Yes.
So you can make it
I'm
an RC
demonstrating.
car.
I mean, yes, you
That is
could
that's a lot
theoretically,
cooler than I
but
thought it was.
it is really cool. I love it. It was such a fun build because apparently the past 2 weeks I've just been obsessed with building Lego. So I have 2 other things I've built in the last 2 weeks, but this is I think one of my all-time favorites. I love.
You and William Byron would get along really well, I guess. He builds Lego. That was his thing.
I know. We would get along. Alas. Maybe that's why he's my favorite, because he builds Lego. So that's it. That's my show and tell.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. I support that. Very happy for you. I wish I had that. Not going to be grumpy over here.
Well, your birthday is coming up, so
Yeah.
you never know.
Probably not. Anyway, moving on. So we had a lot of racing stuff this week, eh?
Triple header after a month-long break.
Yay!
I watched 5 different races this weekend.
Jesus Christ.
What? There was a lot going on.
China,
5?
China,
Talladega,
Talladega, good
Long
job.
Beach,
Okay, easy.
Imola.
Imola, yep.
What was the last one?
What was Imola? WEC?
Yeah.
Yep. That was a
Okay.
great race. And also,
Was
Did
the
you
last
watch
one, yeah.
Xfinity?
I said Long Beach already.
there's 2 Long Beaches.
Oh.
There was
Oh.
IMSA. Come on, Taylor, you're the IMSA stan.
Mm.
You should have known that one. But yes.
Yes.
I watched all 5 of those. Yeah, I would have some interesting takes, I would say, on what the top 5 races were this weekend.
With the top 5 were? You watched 5
Yeah,
races.
so I watched all 5 of those. Which one do you think I would say is the best?
Probably IndyCar.
Yes.
Okay.
China's got to be down there. I don't know. WEC 2.
Yeah, WEC was number 2. Yep.
IMSA 3, Dega
Yep,
4,
yep.
China 5.
There you go. You nailed it.
Oh, wow. Well, there you go.
Nailed it.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah, because I guess the 2 most popular ones of the weekend being Dega and China kind of sucked.
I was going to say China is a 3 a.m. start and
Ugh.
went exactly as predicted for both the sprint. Well, not quite exactly as predicted. Max didn't qualify on pole for the sprint. Still won it by a
I mean,
fucking
the sprint
mile.
qualifying was fun as hell in the rain.
It was. But so you have a predictable result followed by a super speedway where the recipe is still the same and it's a fuel save to the end.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, not that hard to guess.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, because usually, like, I was actually shocked because they turned NASCAR on toward, I think there was like maybe 80 laps to go, and I was kind of going in between that and the IndyCar race. And I was looking at how many cautions there had been, and I'm like, usually you assume that there's just a lot because NASCAR, right? And I'm like, wow, nothing has like really actually happened. And then everything happened in the last 60 laps or so.
Yeah, probably like last 15, I would say especially. But there wasn't really any
Yeah,
big
there was-
ones until the end.
Not really. Yeah, not until the end, really. But yeah, it was okay. It was okay.
Yeah. So what do you guys
But
want to start
no,
with first?
I-
What did you guys watch this weekend?
Part of IndyCar, part of NASCAR, none of China.
I was sort of the opposite. I was watched the entire F1 race, caught bits of WEC, caught bits of IndyCar, caught bits of NASCAR.
Yeah, I had
So-
everything going at once. So like I was F1, and then F1 was done. I immediately hopped into WEC, and then Saturday was just IMSA, and then Sunday was just F1 into WEC, into then double screening on my setup here. NASCAR on one, IndyCar on the other. It was
Nice.
great. I was listening to the NASCAR, to the IndyCar one more than NASCAR, because
That's fair.
well, with TSM Plus you don't get commercial breaks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
it
so
was my
much easier to
first
listen to.
race. Yeah, it was my first race that I watched like on TSN Plus because like I didn't realize that I had TSN Plus until this weekend when I tried to watch
Good job.
IndyCar because
Good
it's
job.
only on TSN Plus. But it was just nice. It was nice to just be able to like hear the cars and not have to worry about commercials. B, like the commentary being like over like commentated, if that makes sense. You just get like it's just so much of a nicer experience than like trying to watch the NASCAR race, which is really just like commercial central. All you watch is commercials, basically.
Yeah. Honestly, I enjoy TSM Plus simply just for IndyCar.
Yeah,
That
that's
is that is my subscription to basically an IndyCar only service.
But hey, let's get that TSN sponsorship before we keep pumping them up, okay?
No, I'm just saying if IndyCar offered its own free streaming thing that anywhere in the world, say $80, like an F1 TV thing, I would be on board for that. No commercials, just to get to watch, because that's essentially what TSM Plus is, like $80 a month or a year. And I don't care for it except for one series. So
Fair enough.
IndyCar, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. As we learned this weekend, also Zack Brown's going to be helping them with some marketing things. So maybe Zack, if you somehow find this, tell IndyCar to get a dedicated app.
Amen. When you sent that tweet to us in the group chat, I was thrilled to see that somebody who has like smarts in the marketing department, like he's taken McLaren from not so hot to at least like being like on the front half of the grid.
Oh, he's turned McLaren from like a struggling F1 team to basically a global motorsports juggernaut. Not necessarily in results, but they're everywhere. They literally are in almost everything they can.
Exactly. Like they are everywhere. You see orange everywhere. So I'm super excited to see what he's going to bring to the table, and like let's hope that we get a much better marketed product and maybe like way less dumb decisions.
Well, you saw some of his comments also, because he was at Long Beach. Tough weekend for McLaren at Long Beach, but we can get into that one later. He was talking about like some of the things he would like to see. I think he was talking about thermal. He thinks it should be a beginning of the year thing, not in the middle. Like do like thermal then St. Pete kind of thing. Honestly, not a bad thing. Kind of like how NASCAR has the Clash to be your preseason. Make thermal for IndyCar preseason. He doesn't like double headers because sponsors don't consider it two different events. They just consider it one event. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you can ditch double headers, fair. He also thinks they need some new cars.
What a thought.
Interesting.
And actually, one of the things I like the most is he said, I think drivers are the stars and we need to put them on the pedestal and on proper podiums. So basically make the post-race more extravagant.
Kind of like how F1 does it.
Yeah. And to be honest, I kind of don't think that's terrible. When the checkered flag flies, your event shouldn't be over. Like, if you do an event well, and because IndyCar isn't NASCAR, like, they don't do the night races. If you have a 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock race, you end at 3 or 4 o'clock, you should be trying to keep the party going until the night and then send everyone home after.
Well, they do.
Absolutely.
They do kind of get it for some races, like Iowa. They have the post race concerts, and so they can. And not every you can't do it everywhere. Like Toronto, it's a little bit trickier. Like even to do the podium, you can't have necessarily like a permanent in place podium, especially with all the construction that might be happening down there soon. It might get even worse if it happens at all. Like it is a little bit trickier in some places, but I think it shows that when they can, or they are trying to do or to extend it. So it's hit and miss on if they're actually doing it or on what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. But yeah, like the street courses, get it. You can't roll. It's a little tougher to do, but
even there, have something that's your dedicated street course podium. Like they already have their stage and everything.
Yeah.
Invest in it. Get fucking Ice Cube and Pimp My Ride to like fucking. No, it wasn't Ice Cube who did that, was it?
Yeah.
Exhibit.
No.
Exhibit. That's who it was. It was Exhibit who did Pimp My Ride. Yes. Well, no, that doesn't sound right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get the Pimp My Ride guys to pimp my podium for IndyCar, and you know.
Pimp my podium.
Like, could you do in Toronto? I mean, you already let people walk across the track at the end of it. Could you do something where you roll something out? It'll look crappy, but if you can sort of get something similar to F1 where, you know, you roll something into place and you let people run down the track, similar to how F1 does their podiums, Just a thought.
Okay, let's use Toronto as an example. Putting a podium right in front of the Prince's Gates would look awesome, and you could rush everyone down there for turn one.
Yep.
What an idea. That would look really cool,
Look
especially
at
with
that.
then having the city in the background. Wow, what an idea.
Took 5 seconds.
That would be a great place to do it. 100%.
Took 5 seconds, Stephen. But you know what it also would cost? Money.
Shit and all.
Money.
And no one wants to pay any kind of money. At least
Yes,
IndyCar
but what?
doesn't.
Well, what's it going to cost you?
I don't know, but you gotta spend money to make money. Come on.
Yeah, but that's, I think, a relatively low investment. Like your podium is already like this little tiny thing that gets wheeled out. How hard is it to wheel it out somewhere slightly different?
That's fair. Fair enough.
All the support series, your podium sadly has to be somewhere else because we can't really do this when there's going to be cars on track.
Then keep
just
the,
after
keep
your
the
race.
little podium you have now, because you already used that for the little series.
Okay.
Why are you using it for the big series too?
Yeah, so there's your investment. A slightly bigger podium in a different spot.
It costs you one extra truck to carry it around.
Yep, and you still have your VIP winner's circle in front of Princess Gate in turn 1. Problem solved. This is not that hard.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
So, anyways, do we just want to continue with IndyCar at this point?
I mean, at this point, yeah, because it was one of the best races of the weekend. So, yeah. How much of it did you guys catch? Because Taylor, you watched most of it?
No, I didn't watch most of it. I watched because, to be honest, I finished my tires and then I remembered that IndyCar was on. And I was like, "Gosh, right, I need to watch a race here." I caught, I think, the last. No.
Okay.
I think it was the last. I'd say 30 laps or so. But I will say it was kind of a tight finish. Herta was
fantastic.
Yeah, he was closer than I think I would have thought he would be to Dixon at the end. So it was kind of coming down to the last few corners. I'm like, is he gonna get him? Is he gonna get him? But it was a good finish. Mm-hmm.
So I had Herta.
Why?
I had Herta for the betting.
Of course you did.
So I was looking forward to that. But Herta also pissed me off. So I had I was telling Taylor this and I showed Steven this, but I won the matchup betting. I parlayed that 5 into 1, so I won that. But I also had the group betting. And for the groups, I picked Dixon and Pelot to win the groups. And I parlayed that together. So had Herta won the race, I would have won the $25 for Herta winning. Fucking great. Had Dixon won, okay, that's not bad, but I needed Pelot to finish second ahead of Herta to win the next one. So basically, Herta finishing second was the worst case scenario for me. Having Dixon, Herta, Pelot hurt me the most. I was like, God damn it. Every time. So, if you want to talk about second places betting this week, I'm on another roll for those. So,
good job.
Yeah, it's going well. It's going well. I'm kind of depressed in betting now. But yeah, so
what are you gonna do?
Exactly.
Well, and it could have been. Well, I don't know if he really had any damage after his running with Newgarden, but maybe Herta would pick something up where that slowed him down just enough because Dixon was running on a fuel save for the last 20 laps.
Yeah, his whole last stint he was on mega fuel save. I think it was Newgarden 9 seconds out of him in the first probably 10 laps, almost a second lap.
Yep.
And then Dixon did what Dixon does and just was a wall. Perfect fuel save, perfect pace. Fuel saved so much that he was told in the last lap to just give it everything.
Yep.
Which is insane.
Dump the fuel, dump your 75 seconds of push to pass or whatever he had at the end.
Yeah, it was.
I don't think he didn't use any at the end or for the last 20 laps.
No.
Because he couldn't.
Yeah, he was using like 2 seconds here or there. I think he'd basically get up to max revs, use it for like 2 seconds to get that extra little bit down the main straight. Because that was the only part where he was really vulnerable, because he could manage pace during the, I guess, twisty bits.
Yep.
And just, it was fucking such a goddamn good drive. And you had Newgarden challenge him, and then they came up to lap traffic, and then Newgarden got hit by Herta.
That's where I thought he was going to get caught, was the lap traffic. I was ready for it, but
that's fair.
Herta.
And it also really helped with fucking team player Kiffin Simpson really assisting and really making sure those Ganassi guys get those points.
That's how you're going to sell it. That's fine.
I knew it. I was like, when are we going to hear about Kiffin Simpson?
Listen, is finishing 19th good for him? No.
No.
But if you also think finishing 19th now means you're still beating, what, 8 other guys? Okay. Like 19th, like before we used to be like, if you were like 15th or worse, it's like, you're terrible. But now it's like, okay, if you're 18th or worse, it's a bad weekend. Like, as the field keeps growing.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, he's 2 races into his IndyCar career. I don't think the jury's quite out on him yet.
Not at all.
He's had one race where Sean was vehemently apologizing to him and doing the Shaq "I didn't recognize your game" meme.
That was you sent the meme, and I'm just jumping on board it because I'm like, okay, he was fast in testing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Give him a couple more races. Let's see how it sorts himself out.
Let's see him at a track he's been able to test on.
Yeah.
Like a barber.
Huh. Look at that.
Huh.
Look at the schedule.
Oh, weird.
Oh, is Barber next?
Weird.
Yeah, Barber's next.
Yeah, literally next week. It's fucking great.
Awesome.
So what are your thoughts on the whole Herta Newgarden thing? Do you think there should have been a penalty there? Or do you think that was let him race?
Let him race a little bit.
Let's be honest, this week was the week for getting to the back of guys.
I was going to save this joke because I've used it so many times. But at the same time, it's really funny because it's literally if I had a nickel for every time a just under a decade experienced driver hit a more experienced driver in a hairpin, I'd have 2 nickels. This isn't weird, but the fact that it happened twice this weekend, both in the main race.
That's a bit of a stretch of the joke for that one. So
it is. You
kind of killed it by getting to it, but like.
Good.
It's okay.
Good. That joke needs to die.
Yes, it does. So please don't make it. So you're saying that's a perfectly fine thing. There should be no penalty.
Okay, can someone, I obviously did not see this. Someone explain what the incident was.
Yes, this was the main incident at the end of the race. Newgarden is second, chasing Dixon. They get to the last hairpin. They're fighting with some lap traffic. They kind of, they may check up a little bit or brake a little bit more than they're used to going in there. Herta gets into the back of Newgarden. Newgarden's car briefly goes into anti-stall, and Herta and Palou are able to get by him. And then they start chasing Dixon. It was like maybe 5 to go, 6 to go maybe?
So I did see this. So I just thought that Newgarden's car stalled. I didn't see like Herta touch him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was a very subtle hit. And to be honest, it is not a big issue, but the fact that the car went anti-stall really killed his race.
Oh, absolutely.
But that's what happens at the slowest corner in the fucking world. So
yeah, it was 8 to go.
Yeah. I think it's a racing incident. It's not like it caused major like damage to the car or anything. Like, yes, okay, the hit was enough to put it into anti-stall, but that's kind of what happens sometimes. Like, some corners are just tough like that. It is what it is.
Let's put it this way. If you have to rule one as a penalty and one as just, that's just it, the corner getting backed up, IndyCar Herta getting into Newgarden is the just happened to be guys getting backed up into each other.
Absolutely.
Okay, flip side. What about the Pato getting into Rossi?
Pato getting into Rossi. That was early on. That was
Yeah, that was like within the first like 3 laps.
Yeah. Trying to find it here.
Did not see that one.
Yeah,
for sure.
It was going through the fountain. Award overcooked it in there and got in the back of his teammate and punctured his tire.
Ooh.
So Rossi had to pit, and Award got a penalty on that as well. Because that one was ruled a penalty.
Yeah.
Personally, I kind of agree with that one being a penalty because you ruined his race and you caused him to go to do a pit stop when he didn't have to, and you kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It was really funny when he's like, I got pushed in. They showed the replay.
Yeah, see?
Pato.
They will always get you on the replay, man. Like, it's better to just like say it was an unfortunate incident. That it isn't how we wanted our race to go today, than to be like, I was pushed.
Yeah. But yeah, that basically ruined the McLaren's race. So we're all in agreement it shouldn't have been a penalty. It was fine how it was called. No issues with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
again, like
fair.
it's not. It's in a race, less than 10 to go. Or sorry, obviously it's in a race. Under green flag racing conditions, less than 10 to go. It's a minor bump.
Yeah. Things get a little hairy in the last 10 laps.
Fair enough. Yeah, so for, I guess, just to wrap up the IndyCar discussion, your top 5 of the race were Dixon, Herta, Palou, Newgarden, Ericsson. Your kind of usual suspects there. Shout out to F2 champion Theo Pourchaire for his IndyCar debut.
Yeah, we said top 20 would be a good result, and finishing 11th.
Good for
Not
him.
bad.
That's really good for him.
I would also give a shout out to Rossi for finishing 10th after the contact.
Yes.
Good recovery drive and Pourchaire, really good debut. And I don't know if you saw his comments. He was like, "Oh my god, that was fun."
Yeah, he said IndyCar is the best. What was it? The best
Racing.
racing in the world.
Yeah.
Trying to find
Well.
his comments
Yeah, we may have just caused another convert from the European world.
here. Mm-hmm.
Which, I guess,
first run.
that could be a thing now because Malukas apparently isn't doing so well with his recovery. And I think there's some talk of McLaren kind of moving on from him.
Really? Well, what does that mean for my fantasy team?
You get Theo Pourchaire?
Okay, I guess I get his replacement.
You get another European.
Okay, another European.
Yeah, we'll give you Rinus
wow.
VK there.
No, you don't get to choose.
Damn it. Well, yeah, so apparently his surgery, or like, he still hasn't got the screws out of his wrist or something like that.
Usually they don't take the screws out.
But he was supposed to get him out like the week after the thermal.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's been, I guess,
that's
some
not
extra
good.
complication, maybe infection, maybe something else. But yeah, he's still, I don't think he's racing this week. Like he may not return till May.
Well,
Yeah, it's possible.
Just reading here quickly.
I mean, given the fact that, yeah, there's only one weekend left in the year or in the month, yeah, he's not returning till May.
Yeah, there's no point in really rushing it. But
Yeah.
Pourchaire did also have a little slip up in the media saying, "Oh yeah, I'm contracted for the next 2 races."
Ooh!
That's like,
Oh!
that's like, oh, okay, so yeah, Malukas really isn't coming back, and that he did walk it back a little bit, saying it's dependent
needed.
on, yeah, like I'm signed to if he can't go, but that would be
Convenient.
Convenient. Oh, that the PR person was probably in the crowd like, cut. Walk it back.
Yeah, that was
and
but
then-
like Pourchaire was the worst kept secret in motorsports. Like,
oh yeah,
Yeah. Everybody knew.
yeah.
yeah. He also said it after the race. It was if I have a second opportunity. Buddy, you already let it slip. Just roll with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's fine.
At this point, we already know.
Yep. Anyway, moving on. Do you want to talk about NASCAR quickly?
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole
Sure.
lot there because, yeah, it was a pretty standard race. You got stuck in that kind of second, third stage fuel-saving bullshit where they just run really slow, apparently.
Yeah, it was kind of like, I mean, yeah.
You had the opportunity for a great finish at Talladega when basically it was a boring-ass race. It was not a good race. It got interesting when the Toyotas said, fuck it, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
And they pit on their own, did their own thing. And I have never seen a greater team kill in motorsports than the Toyotas.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was John Hurt and Nemechek, like, yeah, gave an extra shove into Bubba, who then spun Eric Jones, who then hit the wall. Nemechek came down, took out Denny Hamlin, and it's like, wow. It's like just the Halo announcer, like, triple kill. Like, god damn, how did you do that? To your own team.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious and also terrible. I don't know if you guys saw the onboard for that. Eric Jones took a fucking hit.
Oh, yeah. It
Well,
was not good.
And he got out and he was instantly complaining about his back. And it was weird because they did like the routine check.
Yep.
And then he comes out, does his interview,
Goes to the hospital.
and then goes back. Yeah, goes to hospital. It's like, should probably, if a guy's instantly complaining about his back, we don't want him to end up, fingers crossed, knock on wood, like a Kurt Busch situation where it's like, oh, this thing's just going to linger all year and, maybe the rest of the year. But hopefully he's okay. But yeah, it was very weird that it was, oh, yeah, go do your interviews and then go to the hospital.
Well,
if
you hear him in the onboard, he's like, "Oh fuck, I need help. I need help getting out. My back." Like he's in pain.
Yeah.
Then you cut to like his interview. Oh yeah, a little banged up. No, not bad. Like perfectly fine. And then afterwards, he has to go to the hospital. Like, okay, are we trying to make these guys like, if they're hurt, and take care of them?
Yeah.
But if you're going to hype up NASCAR with all these wrecks at your promotions, you don't show the wrecks anymore because you don't want, I guess, to make it seem like, oh, these guys are putting themselves in danger and we're profiting off that. We don't want to support these wrecks. We'll just use them in marketing, apparently. And then we'll make them seem like everything's okay after they happen, even though they weren't. Seems like a whole lot of mixed messaging going around here.
Yeah. It's not a surprise. I mean, this is also the group that was like, yeah, we don't want to advertise Ryan Newman's crash and then instantly use Ryan Newman's crash from Daytona.
I forgot about that.
As advertising for their summer race at Daytona.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yikes.
Genius. Absolutely genius.
Yes. Anyway.
But yeah,
So Reddick won.
I was gonna say, like we said, typical fuel save. Let's see what happens at the end. And Reddick's just the one Toyota that made it.
Yeah, because what was it? Who was it? Shit. McDowell was just fighting for his life out front at the end.
Yep. Good first block. Second block, could use some work.
Yep. And at least he did the right thing. And if you're gonna wreck, you turn in front of the entire field and take them out with you.
Exactly. Though it didn't work out for him in the end because he was fighting Keselowski. Keselowski still ended up coming second.
Yep.
Where the hell did he end up? McDowell ended up 31st.
I don't think he crossed the line. That's why.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
However, I feel fucking terrible for Keselowski.
Yeah.
He's on the long winless streak, right?
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row, he's second.
Oh. Ugh.
I mean, long-term goal, he's probably somewhat fine with it, right? You're banking points.
Yeah.
You're in the top 16 right now. Same time.
RFK's coming. I'm telling you, RFK's going to have a good second half.
Yeah, they'll probably do what they did last year. So Fords are still figuring out their car. Toyota's just nailed it off the start for
yeah, but the Fords are so good for qualifying at super speedways.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the Fords had done what the Toyotas did, they win.
Probably, yes.
Their bumpers lock a lot better. You even saw that in the last lap when like they were all pushing the last lap. Keselowski locked with McDowell, and they were moving the two of them. And I was watching that and like, that's a very good two-car tandem you got there.
Yeah. Well, they were playing nice for all but the last basically the last lap.
Yeah.
Because that's when Keselowski sort of started backing off and was like trying to get Gregson to push him along.
Yep.
So that way he could get the run, which ultimately ended up wrecking McDowell. So.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I had money on Keselowski.
But,
I'm really pissed off.
Of course you did.
I have for the last 2 weeks. So you know what's gonna happen, right?
It's your fault.
So you know what's gonna happen.
As soon as you don't bet on him, he's gonna win.
Tell me when you don't. Tell me when you don't bet on him, and I'll make money.
No, then he also won't win because the universe knows our plan.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, top five.
We tell Taylor when we don't bet on him.
Top five for your NASCAR race was Reddick, Keselowski, Gregson, Stenhouse, and Bowman. Hey, look at Bowman carrying that Hendrick flag up front for once.
Yep.
In a roulette wheel of a race. So,
yeah. And noted superstar Anthony Alfredo coming 6th.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That's a good run from him.
Yeah, he led the race at one point, and I was listening, and I was like, "Who is this Alfredo man?"
I love Alfredo,
but he's He's more Xfinity, right?
Yeah,
Does he only? Okay, yeah.
But that's what you're gonna get for super speedways under this setup. Like, if you have a bunch of guys saying, "I don't want to lead because it fucks up my fuel savings," you're going to get guys like Anthony Alfredo that lead laps, or Noah Gragson led 5 laps.
Or finishes 3rd. Yeah, good luck doing that one again at any other track.
Daniel Hemrick led 8 laps.
Todd Gilliland.
Yeah, like there's just a whole mix of guys here. Sean's favorite hover car led a lap. Josh Berry led 3 laps. Like, you're going to get a mix of guys leading laps.
Oh, didn't BJ McLeod lead a lap?
Probably. He led 5.
Yeah. He led a lap. He led a lap and hit the wall.
Yeah.
It was awful.
John Hunter Nemechek led 20 laps. Justin Haley led 4 laps.
Listen, John Hunter Nemechek. Who has a better kill death ratio, John Hunter Nemechek or a McDowell?
Probably McDowell. You could say collateral.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, you're gonna, like, as long as this is the way you race, which until they get rid of stages, it will be.
Or just fix the package.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's how it's gonna be. You're gonna get teams that are, it's just manage, and survive until the last 10 laps, and that's when you're gonna get the movement. You're gonna open up that 3rd lane because guys are gonna want to move up. And then it's Sean's magic math machine of question mark profit.
Exactly.
Or huge wreck and massive expense.
Listen, Sean's magic math machine works almost all the time.
Sure.
It's like 50% of the time. Works every time.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, I don't really have a whole much else to talk about NASCAR. So,
well, I was gonna say the only other thing I can mention with this is that's 23XI's first win, and Michael Jordan was amped.
Is that actually their first win?
That is their first win.
Oh wow!
However, to continue the 2024 NASCAR, you still only have had wins from what is it? Gibbs associate teams or what's it called? Or Hendrick. The only 2 teams have won for the entire season, except Suarez.
Actually, sorry, I was wrong. Reddick had 2 wins last year.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, what do you mean it's his first one? Like, they definitely had wins.
I don't know what I'm smoking.
Pass it. I mean, it was 420 this weekend. So
I was going to say, it was 420.
Okay, so on to F1.
Sure.
Yeah, F1. China.
So we had a sprint. Fun sprint qualifying.
Boo.
Had the
Right.
weirdest thing where lap deleted by Norris only to be reinstated.
Yeah, that was a weird one, not going to lie.
That's kind of bullshit, I think. I'm not going to lie.
What? Okay.
You missed a
preface
lot.
Conversation. I saw really only the Stroll incident from F1 this weekend. I have not seen much, and for some reason, my TikTok was just full of like Max and like interacting with Penelope content. Don't know why, but anyway. Yeah, have not really seen much, but that is very interesting. And also, what? So
Yeah.
why did he got his lap taken away? I'm assuming for track limits.
Yes, he got his.
Yeah.
So he went wide on the last turn in the wet and ended up in the gravel. And it was okay, lap time deleted for the previous lap, but it should also delete your next lap because you're running wide and maintaining speed as you go back onto the track. So in theory, you can have a better lap down the straight. It's a thing, and like any person who does sim racing will have that happen. If you fuck up the last corner, it'll be okay, this lap deleted and your next lap because you're gaining advantage on that lap. Only for Norris to come in, go P1, immediately had the lap time deleted because he went out, and then immediately have it reinstated.
That's so weird.
There was never a good explanation for it, to be honest. It was just, yep, deleted, reinstated. They can do that. Okay, seems kind of arbitrary in the wet to do that.
Very.
Considering like you can just randomly have a good lap in the wet based on the conditions that are out there. So it was questionable. And then your sprint, you basically had Lewis try to hold off as much as he could.
Karma struck back on Norris.
Oh, hell yeah, it did.
Just running way, way wide. Yeah, Hamilton held on for as long as he could.
Yeah.
Alonso held on as long as he could. Max is inevitable.
Yeah.
Really, he is.
Yeah, so you had Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez for your sprint race, and then in your actual race, yeah, it was a pretty boring race, to be honest. Not a whole lot was happening. Bottas engine went, so
Oh my gosh.
Okay, that led to another weird FIA thing because they took forever to get a safety car out there.
it was local yellow, and then it was
Double wave
VSC,
yellow,
and then it
then
was
VSC.
full safety car, and it's like, okay. And like,
Yeah.
they were just double wave yellow when Bottas is standing next to the car.
Yeah.
If a driver is out in the line of fire of anything, it must be VSC or safety car anytime.
Yeah, well, Nico Rosberg brought up a great point of like, why are you waiting while you assess if we need to do a full safety car or not? Why not throw out a virtual safety car, then assess? Because, safety would sort of dictate that makes sense. But then again, it's the FIA. So, I'm not really surprised that they made the choice that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's honestly, like, you can't say you're for safety and then fuck up the safety part. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's one thing if he's behind a wall, I could get it, I guess, but
yeah, or like
he's
partially
like
tucked in.
you, yeah, like you said, he's there's There's not if someone runs in hot, he's fucked.
Oh, yes.
He's powder.
Missed, but
Whatever.
yeah, like especially at that point you're in the middle of a runoff.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's a runoff that could easily have a car in it at any moment. Like
Yeah.
there was a shot of watching Bottas getting out of the car, adjusting the wheel, all that, and cars are going by behind him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there is like he is exposed. Like
Yeah.
throw one of the two.
Oh my gosh.
But
Yeah.
it wasn't even either at that point.
That is so like honestly, like from what I understand, that is very like unlike the FIA to delay so much on that kind of call. But wow.
Yeah.
Just so odd.
And then under that safety car, you had the Stroll incident.
It was under a safety car?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what
It was
that's what
coming
makes
to the
this
restart.
So, yeah, that's what makes this so much worse.
Oh my gosh, Stroll, dude.
Oh yeah,
So,
here,
like,
Taylor, here. Look at this. This like, yeah, Bottas in the car with cars going around behind him.
Oh, but it's under yellow, so no one's.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that's still local yellows.
I know.
That's stupid. Listen, I think here's the thing. For the Stroll incident, do I think that is entirely did Stroll fuck up that 100%? 100%.
Yeah.
Should Stroll have been penalized? Absolutely not. If you watch that video,
What?
the person that fucks up that, it is, I believe, Sainz. Because Sainz actually slowed down more before the corner, that caused, based on the FIA's own argument back in Australia, if you slow down before the corner and cause the guys behind you to wreck, it is your fault for slowing down.
Okay.
Right?
I see. Yes, I see your logic.
So because
Okay.
they screwed up into there, I think it was like Sainz screwed up, and then it was like literally a Alonso, then it was Russell, Piastri, Red Bull. Basically, they all stacked up going to that hairpin, and Stroll was the last guy that couldn't stop in time. Should you be in control of your car to stop in time? Definitely. However, FIA also should be like, we kind of gave this guy a penalty for not taking a corner or screwing up a corner, especially because it's coming to the green flag. So yeah, I think I agree. Stroll screwed it up. Stroll screwed it up, but I would have also wanted to see some blame maybe on someone else because, like the FIA said, if you screw up going to a corner and guys wreck because of it, according to Alonso penalty, that's a penalty.
Yeah.
Do I agree with it? No.
Yeah.
I'm just going with their logic.
Mm-hmm. And that's part of like the criticism that we've had with the FIA for so long, right? Is like if you're going to make a call, be consistent about it, and like it's just another instance where they're just inconsistent in what they're calling a penalty versus what's not a penalty. So I don't know. What I found interesting was Stroll thinking that it was Ricciardo's fault, and then like Ricciardo got heated about that, and it kind of was not good. But it's I don't know. I see your logic though. It was funny though. I also saw footage that Max watched that and he was like shocked at what happened. And he was like, "Oh, I think that's my fault."
That's actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Ricardo comments, I also don't necessarily know how serious those are.
Oh no, he was
He was
miffed.
pretty pissed off.
No, but also one of Ricardo's best friends is married to Stroll's sister, so
Yeah, but he was heated.
You can be friends and still get super pissed off at someone. I think it is I feel like part of it is also how it got portrayed to him, because I think all they had at that point was I'm trying to find what Stroll said after the race.
I think he said I don't remember after, but he said in the time they brake tested him.
Yes,
because that's what they always say.
Yes, you're trying to get yourself some reprieve from the fact that your car is now damaged and everything. So, not surprising. But what they read back is the heat of the moment. Oh, he brake tested me. And then so I think that led to Ricciardo being like, what the fuck? That's not my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is he was like, because his whole thing was like, well, I've calmed down a little bit now, but now that you've told me that, I'm really fucking pissed off again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So,
Yeah, it's fair.
yeah. But yeah, the fact, so here's the other thing, because a lot on the F1 TV broadcast, they were like, yeah, I don't think Stroll can really do anything there. Then it was sort of like, well, watching the replay, maybe he can take avoiding action. But at the same, so like, because I sort of was like, Stroll, what the fuck are you doing? Why the fuck are you in F1? Which is what a majority of people are still saying.
That's the
online.
internet said that. Yeah.
And are still saying because, it's Lance Stroll, so therefore it's automatically cannot drive. Should he necessarily be able to avoid that? Yeah, because I mean, K-Mag was able to take avoiding action and get out of the way. But maybe the fact that guys are taking avoiding action when they should be in a line shows that there was fuck-ups beforehand.
Yeah.
That,
You just were the guy who was late on scene or last on scene.
Yeah. Well, I mean, say K-Mag is checking his mirrors or doing something, he's up Stroll's ass. Whether Stroll hits Ricciardo or not, he would be up Stroll's ass. It could have very easily been K-Mag or whoever's after him or whoever was after him.
Yeah.
So I think the F1 TV guys got it right, saying, that's just the Constantine effect.
That's fair. Besides that issue, though, in the race, there was just kind of Verstappen, Norris, Perez for your top three. But that was the real drama, was that incident. Like, I don't know how much you can really
beat the dead horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about the post race though, because what the fuck was Norris on?
Why?
No, did you not watch the post race yet?
Oh, when he went off into the pit
What?
instead of down the straight.
So like Max's weekly podcast. So
yes.
Norris was sitting in the P1 chair, hadn't come P2, wearing the third place hat.
Norris, sir, are you good?
Like, I don't know, but he had the wrong, and like by the time they went out to the podium, he had the right one on. But it's just like he's there, just his third. I'm like, oh, Norris finished third. He's in the first place chair. Oh, he was second. Oh. Anyway, that was interesting.
Minor airhead moment.
Just a bit.
Interesting.
Well, what are you gonna do? I was gonna say the only other thing I think you can really talk about from this race was Aston Martin's decision to put Fernando on softs on the safety car.
Yeah,
that was I get the thinking, and you can't account for a safety car right after your first safety car.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, what were you expecting to do with 20 something laps to go? What the softs were not going to make it that far. You already had Hamilton. It was Hamilton that ran the softs at the beginning, and he's like, "These tires are dog shit, man.
Yeah.
I can't run with this."
Yeah.
So I didn't really understand the thinking there.
If you want to talk about bad strategy, the WEC race, Ferrari also shot themselves in the foot in that one too.
Well, that's not a surprise. It's Ferrari.
Oh dear.
Oh, it was fucking funny.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But yeah, that was a bit of a weird one. It sort of came out as a net neutral because at the end, Fernando was able to just breeze past everybody.
Yeah.
On the mediums.
Yeah.
But then again, was it a bad call? Who knows?
Yeah, again, so that's why I can see where they were coming from, but at the same time, I don't know.
It's a rough one.
Yeah. I don't know if the risk is necessarily worth what you could have been rewarded with, which is maybe 2 spots. If
that's fair.
Maybe
that's the strategic call, because depending on tires left, it was okay. We're going to run hard on the softs while we have this non-gap around us.
Yeah.
Try to get some guys when we get into stretched out. When we get into that, we'll pit again, put on fresh mediums and catch everyone while they're on their old, trying to struggle bus around.
Yeah.
So maybe that was the theory going into that one?
Maybe. I don't know. And I get a lot of it's hindsight as well. It just seemed odd. But I think did he net the bonus point? So yeah, he netted the bonus point too. So.
Well, you get that one. Anything else?
Yeah, say, do you want to go a little? Oh, yeah. Do you want to go into more of how Ferrari fucked up WEC? Because the only other thing from China was you can see how much it means to have a hometown race.
Yeah, that was
for
Zhou cool. There. That was really cool.
It's a nice moment for a guy that doesn't get a lot of nice moments with the situation.
Yeah.
So.
And for a guy who also like went to that track growing up, it's cool for him to finally get that full circle moment 3 years into your F1 career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that was good for him.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it was nice. They gave him his own little parking spot at the end.
Nice. Well, if only they did that for every single home race.
Yeah.
But
might make sense, to advertise your drivers.
Oh, he's huge in China.
That's
and you can see it. Like, honestly. Like,
no, that's what I mean, though. Like, advertise your drivers. Except in, what's it called? For the Dutch Grand Prix. Max is going to end up there anyways, so.
Nobody needs to advertise drivers for the Dutch Grand Prix.
No. Or Austria, I guess, because that's Red Bull's home race.
Yeah, so. True. The Sea of Orange is thick.
Oh, just
in both places.
We haven't even gotten to the European circuits yet. There's going to be a lot of orange this year, I bet.
Oh, I bet.
So, yeah, next race is Miami.
Yay.
In Florida. Dun, dun, dun. No?
Dun, dun. What a hell of a drug.
Nothing.
Florida. So good.
Listen.
At least it's at 4 p.m.
Exactly. We
and
can
not
watch it.
4 a.m. Yeah.
We'll take what we can get.
Yeah, pretty much, even though it's going to be like, I hate Miami so much. Like, just the track is trash, but at least it's at 4 p.m.
Yep. Okay, wait, so to finish this off, Tortured Poets Department, thoughts?
10 out of 10.
I'll give it like a
so good.
Maybe a 8. Yeah,
what? Honestly, it's creeping up as one of my favorite albums that she's ever put out.
It's literally if you took Reputation and Folklore Evermore and threw them together.
Yes, but like, it's better than all of those.
It has the angst of Reputation with the elegance of the Folklore Evermore.
Although, does this like say something about me if Tortured Poets Department becomes like one of my top Taylor Swift albums?
You might be a sick fuck.
Or am I just broken? TBD.
No, you're just a sick fuck.
They say we don't have time.
Wow.
What? Okay. What are your top 3 songs from the album, Sarah? Or not Sarah, Taylor, damn it. Well.
Good thing your wife doesn't listen to this.
Exactly. Hey.
It's fine. People mistake us for sisters all the time.
I talked to her all about it this weekend, so you used to it.
Yeah. You also guessed what song was like in her head like
exactly
an hour ago.
Because literally we just talked about the album all weekend when I wasn't watching racing. Anyway.
Top 3 songs. Okay. Fortnite is probably my favorite.
Really? Okay.
Because I love Post Malone. Like, I think he has a very underrated voice. Like, I know his music isn't for everyone. Personally, I love it. But I think his voice is just, like, kind of pure in a way that, like, we don't necessarily, like, hear that kind of tone that he has. And I think he just brought such a different sound to the song.
That's
and
fair.
It was just so well done. And I think the writing, too, is amazing. Like, the lyrics are great. I love that it's the lead single off of the album. The music video is fantastic. There's just like, I think the whole vibe of it I don't know, like it just really like tickled my brain cells in a way that was like ecstasy. So 10 out of 10. I would say So Long London is maybe number 2. And number 3 is probably Who's Afraid of Little Old Me.
Okay. I would agree. I would have So Long London as probably my number 2.
That's fair.
Number 1 is probably Florida.
It's really, I love that one too. That would
It
be
does
like, I think my
slap.
4th.
Yeah.
It slaps.
What would be number 3? I could do with A Broken Heart probably. That one
That's a
also
good one.
slaps.
Such a bop. It is such a bop.
I do want to give honorable mention to LOML.
LOL.
Lommel.
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 What does it stand for?
What is it? Is it love of my life
There is a
or
debate.
loss of my life?
It's
It's
I think
both.
it's both. It's
Yeah.
both. I think that's the whole point.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
love it. She's a genius.
So deep. But yeah, that song's actually pretty like, ooh, that's depressing as fuck.
Yep.
There are so many of them where I was listening to it for the first time and I was just like actually screaming because I was like, oh my gosh, like you legitimately wrote this in a song, but I'm like also a vibe.
Yep.
Feel that. Like
I think
to my core, I felt these feelings.
everyone for So Long London, where it's like the so mad at the all the youth you got for free. Yeah, that line is a gut punch.
Yeah.
Like
Bro,
absolutely.
if you weren't hiding, hide now.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of other good ones. There's some I don't really necessarily care about, obviously. When you have fucking 19 songs? No, 31 songs.
31?
31
No, I have
songs.
19. Yeah, 31. God damn.
Wait, hold on, Steven, what are your top 3? You didn't say.
I honestly, I haven't listened to the back half of the album.
It's okay.
Well,
That's
you
fine.
can choose from
Yeah,
the front half.
but-
Yeah, the
from the
actual
front
original
half?
album.
LOML is a good one. I like my list is pretty much the same. I can do it with A Broken Heart.
So good.
But Daddy, I Love Him.
Oh, that's also a good one.
That one was good too.
Like-
That was the biggest FU to the to the, you know, like the kind of the fan base that's like super kind of intensively protective of her and her love life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I loved it, of like calling out the people who are just like almost like gatekeeping her and just like somehow, I don't know, like they just like project so much of this like weird obsession onto her life. And I think like I totally understand. You would get tired of it. Like tired of feeling like you can't do anything right. Your fans love you and hate you at the same time. And it's just like a big old mess, but I loved it.
See,
Like so good.
what's really funny is that Taylor has this super deep reasoning for loving the song. I just loved it because of the memes from The Office.
Fair enough.
where it's Mindy Kaling's character. I'm pregnant. It cuts to the typical office shot looking in the camera.
That's fair. That's fair.
I love that. This is just like I'll go into this whole like just these. It's just so deep, and Steven's like memes, man.
The
It's
memes.
just the memes.
I can't even remember which song it is, but the fact that the fan base or F1
Haha,
Swift.
that's where I was gonna go
Oh,
with
yeah.
this next. That was what I was gonna bring
Yeah.
up.
Instantly went to. I was like, okay.
Okay,
one,
so let's go with that.
All she said was Aston Martin. She did not say Aston Martin, Aramco F1 team.
Time out. No.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's about
That
Alonso.
song is "I'm Gonna Get You Back." That's the song.
Yes.
Do we believe it's about Alonso?
No, come on. No,
Yeah,
it's not about Alonso.
it's
I
about
think
Stroll.
She's no,
Jesus
stop.
Christ.
You-
Time out.
no.
Time out. What line is in there? Talking about I'm gonna wreck your bike. Who wrecked a bike? Lance Stroll. Who drives an Aston Martin? Lance
wrecked
Stroll.
They
It was
both wrecked a bike and drove for Aston Martin, dumbass.
so it could be both.
Yeah.
Aston Martin
Sean.
sandwich.
Sean, stop.
Oh god.
No, first off, all I'm gonna say is this right here is just another reason why she's just like incredible with her songwriting, because the way that she just like inserted basically recognition of the rumor mill after she broke up with Joe Alwyn and being like, I hear you guys, and I'm just gonna put this in here for shit.
100%. 100%.
I just like, it's just another reason why I love her, you know? Like, she trolls people. She trolls her fans.
Yes.
And to see F1 Twitter just explode with, was Taylor so real? I'm like, guys,
Maybe
you
it
haven't
was.
been listening to Taylor Swift long enough.
The fact that both of them lead into it, though, is because they are both trolls. That is why.
Oh, absolutely. I love that. Like, the day of the release with Alonso doing a TikTok or whatever with that playing in the back, I'm like, these marketing geniuses.
Speaking of geniuses, myself, because I already know what we're going to call this episode.
What?
It's the Tortured Podium Department. Hello. Let's go.
Nice.
Very nice.
Come on.
No, that's a good one. I'm saying
thought so.
I'm not
Thank
being
you, thank you.
sarcastic.
Oh, I could talk about this album like all day. I love
That's
it
fair.
so much. It is so good.
What would be the most tortured podium for you while we're here?
The most tortured podium,
Yes.
as in
Can
like
it
the people who are.
encompass every series.
Pick a series and pick a terrible... take any series, a tortured podium out of that.
IndyCar, Santino Ferrucci,
Oh.
Kiffin Simpson, and
Actually, no, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. No.
And Noel
Kenneth
Siegel.
No, okay, I would actually like to see two of those
Nolan
three
Siegel?
guys. Yeah.
No, Ferrucci burn in a hole. Like, oh, that was a good choice for tortured podium. Okay, I'm gonna go with F1. Let me see. Logan Sargent.
Oh.
I'd take that just for the memes.
George Russell. And Lando.
Say, if you
Like
put
all
Lando on the
three of
front,
those guys.
that's yours.
Oof.
I feel like all three of them together would be like very tortured. Also, everybody would be wondering like why the rest of the field DNF'd because Logan Sargent would be on the podium.
That's fair. I'll go NASCAR then for this one. I will go with... who do I want to go with? Probably Noah Gregson on there. Yeah, we'll go with Gregson, Stenhouse Jr., and John Hunter Nemechek. There's your torture NASCAR podium.
Oh no!
I think the fan base
Nice.
would shoot people.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyway, on that wonderful
100%.
note, I think that should wrap up for this week. Don't you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yes. Any quick predictions for this weekend at all, or just nah?
Do we have another triple header? No, right?
No.
No triple header. Just double? Okay. Ooh. That's going to be tough.
I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna say Logano wins, and I'm gonna say Logano and Pelot. There we go.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Steven?
Where are we? Dover. Oh, God. Well, yeah, I would probably go Pelot for Barber. I'm trying to think of who else has been good at Barber recently, but it's really just him.
Newgarden.
Newgarden. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, to be different, I'll say Newgarden. Dover. Kozlowski comes second again.
I fucking hate you.
Nice. Nice. Okay. NASCAR, I'm gonna go with
You know who you want to pick. Just pick him.
Christopher Bell.
Okay, I was gonna say Byron. Okay.
No, I can't choose Byron every time. And
Good
then
chance.
for IndyCar award.
I don't hate that pick either. Anyway, on that wonderful note, thank you very much for listening. We'll be back next week. Do all the things, including liking, subscribing, all that stuff. Follow us. Do all the fun things. And we'll be back. Thank you, and goodbye.
Oh, so long, London, man.
Damn it. That's what I'm going to go
Yeah,
Anyway,
that was really
Okay.
good.
Easiest fucking exit.
fine, we'll exit on that. Okay, we're off. So long.
London.
Thank you for tuning in to the Spare Parts Racing Podcast. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and follow the show on Twitter at Spare Parts Racing. That's Spare Parts RACIN, and on TikTok at Spare Parts Pod. follow the hosts at Sean Chavarella, at Stephen Clary, and at Tay Moore.